and he is the only Ron Paul candidate there. And also for U.S. Senate, you can vote for Rick Williams, who will be on the ballot running against Dianne Feinstein, a big Ron Paul supporter. So,
oh, well, we need to try to get in contact with them and get them on the show then. I want to get all the Ron Paul supporters that are running.
Yeah, definitely. I'll put you in touch with them.
Great, great. Now, I want to try to ask a couple more questions here. Touch on foreign policy. With our troops spread out around the world, is there any country that you believe our troops should be in, or should we just bring all of our troops home and also home from the bases that we have?
I think we should bring all the troops home. I don't really see any need for them to be anywhere at the moment. You know, I wouldn't want to say that in the future there might not be some extreme situation, but right now I don't see any need for there to be any troops or bases anywhere, and they need to come home.
And like Ron Paul says, you believe that we should declare war first, so that way we can let the American people know that we have a threat. This is what the threat is, and we need to go take care of it and end it. Correct?
That is correct. That is the only way that we're ever supposed to declare war, according to our Constitution.
Exactly. So I think we're all on board with that. We don't want our men and our women going over there dying for the reasons they're dying now. Now, if you're a Ron Paul supporter, you know Ron Paul is very big on the Federal Reserve. So I just wanted you to speak on that. And as far as the gold standard, what is your position in regards to the Federal Reserve?
Well, it's interesting. I was just doing some research this morning on Alan Greenspan and how he was actually knighted by the Queen of England while he was the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Now, according to our Constitution, no title of nobility shall be granted to the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of Congress, accept any present or office or title or of any kind whatsoever from any king, prince, or foreign state. Well, if this isn't proof, as if we need any proof that the Federal Reserve is not federal at all, but in fact a private banking cartel to whom we as American taxpayers have to pay interest to have them print our money, I don't know what else is. It's really been a huge fraud perpetrated on the American people since the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, and it needs to be struck down. And we need to get back to what the Constitution actually mandates in Article 1, Section 8, which is that Congress is who should be
point the money or coin the money.
Coining the money and printing the money and deciding the value of that. And so my solution is that, maybe the U.S. government can lend the money to the bankers and have them pay us interest, and then we could do away with the income tax.
Yeah, hey, I was just about to bring up the IRS. You want to get rid of the Federal Reserve, you got to feel the same way about the IRS. I don't even want to talk about that right now. I got to pay my taxes within 30 days. But that's another thing. So what about Obama? We know the GOP, the Republicans, they like to scream and holler about how much they can't stand Obama, but when they look in the mirror, they should see Obama in a reflection. What do you think about the Obama administration during his first term?
Well, I think that he's basically extended, all the outrages of the Bush administration, and in fact gone even further. And the latest outrage is the executive order that he passed on March the 16th, which is called the National Defense Preparedness Act, and it gives the president and his secretaries the authority to commandeer all U.S. domestic resources, including food and water, as well as seize all energy, transportation, and infrastructure inside the borders of the United States. And it also gives the government the ability to forcibly draft U.S. citizens into the military, and I support a voluntary military, not a draft, and also to force citizens to fulfill something that they call labor requirements. Now, I don't know exactly what they mean by that, but it sounds pretty sinister.
They mean slavery, probably?
Yeah, so this is pretty ironic to me. Here's our first black president, and here he is, putting out an executive order that nullifies the 13th Amendment.
Well, when he's bailing out GE and GE owns the MSNBC and he got the media in love with him and it's just amazing. You're right. I mean, how in the world is it that somebody that's talking about all this change 4 years ago, talking bad about the Republicans, bad about George Bush, giving us all this hope and change, how did he turn out to just be totally the opposite? Now, I'm pretty sure some Ron Paul supporters like you and me can see through it. But for those that are out there just watching the TV, they still can't see it. They still can't grasp the fact that their president has sold them out to the bankers, to Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, it's very sad because the media is so savvy. They really know how to manipulate and tug at the heartstrings of the American people. And, everybody rallies behind the president. Everybody wants the president to do the right thing. It's not like he got in office and, people didn't want him to succeed. I mean, he had the biggest welcome of any president ever, probably.
Yes, yep.
And, so people are still under that illusion, hoping that he's, trying to make excuses and say, well, this, that, and the other. But you just have to look at the facts. He's very charming. He's a great speaker. So it's very seductive. It's like that bad.
It's almost like somebody has a wand on the media and they're like, don't be too tough on him. It's like, yeah, Obama's a good speaker. Yeah, he talks better than a lot of them. But if he just got half of the criticism, that other candidates get, I think that it would be a lot harder to get away. But, to get away with the things that he's doing. But the media, they were so in love with him, selling him to the American people like he was Jesus, like he's going to come and save us. So people who just don't, and I know a lot of Obama supporters, a lot of them are my personal friends. They just don't want to face the fact that, he is another George Bush or another Republican. Now, we are running to the top of the hour, and I don't want to get cut off by the music here. So I want to ask you one last thing here. Being in the House of Representatives, and when you do get elected, is there anything that you're looking to address, like as soon as possible, like with your position, what it is you're trying to hopefully get done as soon as possible when you get in office?
I want to make sure that we don't start another war, that we don't go into Iran. Well, hopefully that won't have happened already by that time. But I just think this is such a extremely dangerous situation that we're playing with. And I know that Rand Paul yesterday, he just he put an amendment forth that
to stop to
urge that we not use force in Iran and Syria. So those are the things that I think are most urgent to address, and then to just get back to the Constitution, to get the federal government out of our business and give people back their freedoms. There's so many things that we need to do to limit the power of the federal government and to reverse, get rid of the Patriot Act, NDAA, all these things that have been passed in the last 10 years. We need to get back to the way we're supposed to be governed, which is
basically taking the baton from Ron Paul, just carrying it on. Being another voice too, because a whole lot of us are younger than Ron Paul, so we got a little bit more energy, and that's what we need. We need more voices out here. So just by you being in that position, wherever you go, wherever you speak, hopefully you'll wake somebody else up like Ron Paul woke both of us up. But yeah, Jenny, I definitely appreciate you coming on the show. I know it's early because you're where I'm at, so you had to get up early just like me. Most are on the East Coast. But before I let you go, I want you to give your contact information, Facebook, whatever you have where people can get in contact with you and, if they want to ask you any questions themselves.
Oh, sure. Thank you. My website is wormanforcongress.com. And if anybody wants to email me about anything, they can get in touch with me at wormanforcongress@gmail.com.
Okay. Well, yeah, and if you can, like you were telling about those other candidates, let's get them on. You got any more updates or any events coming up, you're more than welcome to come on the show anytime. Okay, Jenny?
Great. Thank you so much, Parker, and thank you for everything you're doing and the great show.
No problem. Well, I'll talk to you a little later. I know we be on Facebook all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Take care.
All right. And that is our cue. So we are at the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Again, this is Paco signing out. Occupy the Media. Bye.